Hi! Welcome back to the game of Galleon, once again. I am Captain Raz, and today we've got a lot going on in the voyage. We're going to be talking about how not to negotiate when you're talking about video games. We're going to be featuring a old Nintendo game called POW, Prisoner of War by SNK. We're also going to have a little interesting lot to get into in the booty segment. And we'll have our mailbag segment also. Although I forgot the mail. But that's okay. That's not a problem. We can work that out. So first of all, yes, let's talk about what not to do in a negotiation. When you're trying to find used video games or used anything, you want to try and get the best price possible, and a good way to do that is to kind of butter up the guy or girl, whoever this person may be, the merchant. And last week, I happened into an establishment, and I came across something that interested me. A couple of games that I've been looking for a while. They're actually in here, and let me dig them out real quick. At this place, they have all the games behind the cabinet. Like they're the crown jewels or something. You can't touch them. So you always need some sort of salesman to wait on you, so you can actually look at the merchandise. Through the glass, I could tell right away that I was interested. And thank you, thank you. We got the mail in. That's good. We'll get that later. Okay, so anyway, thank you. Thank you, first mate. Appreciate that. So anyway, I saw a couple games I was interested in. A couple of Game Boy games here. Nothing huge, but a couple of games I needed, or at least wanted. We have Pokemon Red for the original Game Boy. And we also have Pokemon Pikachu Edition. Let me get in there. Now again, these labels are a little beat up, And there's like 10 million Pokemon, so it's like, am I really going to play this one? I don't know, but I wanted them. And knowing this place, I knew that they weren't going to ask much for original Game Boy games. In fact, they were probably going to ask probably around $2 or something. So I was like, okay, good deal. So I was already on, I was already in the win slot here. It was like easy as pie, no real problem here. So I wait my turn, and a young lady comes behind the counter, somewhere around her 30s, and she's like, "Can I help you, sir?" And I said, "Yeah. Would you mind helping me get a couple video games out of the Game Boy cabinet?" She's like, "Okay." So we go over there. And, it's like, I really, like the Pikachu Edition, I've kind of been looking for a long, long time. So I was kind of elated. I was trying not to have a poker face, but I was happy. Already felt like, I already had a victory. I don't have to climb the hill anymore. And she's starting to unlock the case, and she's next to me. And she's unlocking. And I happen to notice something. And I make probably one of the worst errors that you can make in a conversation between two people in the history of social interaction. I don't know why I said it. I was just trying to be nice, trying to be amiable, and it was a mistake, to be sure. In fact, it was a catastrophe. She's unlocking, and I look over her, and I guess I glanced down at her a little bit, and I said, "So, when are we expecting the baby?" Yeah, it's one of those point and no return kind of comments, and it's one of those comments that most of us are smart enough to think about before we say it. I was not smart that day. I was not smart on this voyage. I don't know if I had too much grog before I walked into this place or what. But I was trying to be nice. You know, girl's gonna have a baby. She likes to talk about babies. Unfortunately, I heard the two words that you never, ever, ever want to hear after you ask when the baby's due. What baby? Now, the world pretty much stopped for both of us at this point. She continued to do what she had to do to be a good employee, and I continued to do what I needed to do to be a money-grubbing used gaming collector, which was stand there despite what both of us wanted to do, which would be me exiting the situation. Unfortunately, my greed got the best of me, and I waited. Some places it's easy to ring up. You give them some money and you're out. Some places are not. This happens to be one of those places where there's a lot of red tape and a lot of numbers that have to be put in manually, and managers have to sign off on transactions. And it became a very painful, very slow situation. I mean, the seconds just, they started ticking like years. And she's on her side of the counter, and I'm on my side of the counter. And it's like, at that point, the niceties are kind of gone. I mean, it wasn't like she was being mean, because she wasn't. She was being very nice. But obviously, obviously she had to. So, we got through with the transaction, and I got my games. Got my stupid Pokemon games at the expense of some poor woman's, you know, good mood. And again, she was being a sport. You know, she really was. Like, she let it pass. And then I don't know why. I guess I always have to be that guy who leaves on a light note. I could have just taken the games and left. You know, I need to backtrack a little bit, because I actually forgot to tell you what I said to her when she said, "What baby?" She says to me, "What baby?" And there's really no getting out of that. But I tried. Oh, did I try? Like these ideas of these various lies started racing in my head. What could I tell her? And the only one I could think of is, okay, well, she's only on one side of me, so, you know, maybe I have a Bluetooth in my ear, and I'm talking to somebody. And so the very moment that I start to respond to her, "What baby?" she starts to circle me. So I'm basically like, well, a friend of mine is having a baby, and I'm just wondering when it's due, and yeah, you obviously wouldn't know that. I swear to God, this is how it went. I mean, because how much guile can you have at that point? I can't. So anyway, we wrap, finish the transaction, and I finally end with, "So yeah, when my friend has that baby, I'll let you know. I'll let you know." So yeah, be careful what you say out there. Especially if you've already won the situation. Like, I knew what I was getting into. I knew I was going to get him. I knew I was going to get him for a good price. Just be nice, you know. Don't ever volunteer too much, because you never know which level of hell you find yourself in for the next 10 minutes. All right, enough of that. Enough of my embarrassment. Enough of my sinking ship. Let's move on to some video games. I mean, who doesn't love video games, right? Today we're going to be playing POW, Prisoner of War, for the NES, and on a rare occasion I actually have the instruction manual for this game. So we've got a little box art to show. Usually I don't show the cartridge because I want it ready to go so we can just get in and bust some heads, but we have a little box art here. And we even have the story. Not that you need much of a story for a Nintendo game, but we'll touch on it a little bit. But here's POW. This was originally an arcade game, and what an arcade game it was. As you can see, we have 2 prisoners here beating the crap out of everything in sight on their way to freedom, and I believe that's an explosion back there. And, you know, that, as far as I'm concerned, that's like a requisite to good box art, is to put an explosion in there somewhere. And looking closer at it, it seems to be a guard tower that's exploding, and there's like 8 guys out here, and these guys are just kicking butt. This is a beat 'em up, and let's just get to it, and I'll talk more about it later, and maybe we'll even dive into the instruction manual. But let's kick ass. We start the game very quickly, like any NES game. We've just blown up the our cell, and we're trying to get out of the prison camp. So without further ado, POW, prisoner of war. Yes. 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 Let's do it, Bart. By the way, that is his name, is Bart. I don't know if they were trying to capitalize on, you know, Simpsons branding or whatever. Maybe if they did that, he'd be wearing shorts. But his name is Bart, and you gotta love, you know, because this is clearly a throwback to, you know, Vietnam. This was before, you know, Desert Storm. So Vietnam was pretty much on the lips and minds of everyone at the time. Platoon was out, Hamburger Hill. But, you know, this being a Nintendo game, you only want it to be so realistic. So they always rename this stuff. You know, was this guy really Bart? I don't know. I doubt it. Well, okay. Clearly this isn't based off a life story or anything, so probably is Bart. But looking at the instruction manual, I know this guy's title is Captain, and I have to refer to the instruction manual because you want to know who these guys are, like the factions involved. Bart here is a part of the Army Special Forces Unit, and his mission is to infiltrate Goon. G-O-O-N, and they always have to come up with these awesome acronyms for the NES and then break it down for you, because it's not like anyone knows what Goon is. We're not dealing with ISIS here, we're not dealing with the Taliban, we're not dealing with North Korea, we're dealing with the Government of Offensive Network. When it's a foreign organization, it doesn't need good grammar. I'm not going to bore you with the particulars. Bart had himself captured voluntarily, you know, on the down low. Wow, aren't I hip? On the down low, so that he could, you know, you got to defeat the organization from the inside, kind of thing. So here we are. As you can see, you know, for an NES game, and again, this was in the arcade, and I'd say the biggest, coolest thing that we lost from the arcade, from the NES port from the arcade, was this was actually 2 players in the arcade. And, you know, if you're going to play a beat 'em up like this, you always want to have a friend there to beat the crap out of with. But this one, I mean, for an NES game, this is pretty violent. Now, look at this guy. This is kind of like really below the belt when we're talking about beat 'em ups. Because, I mean, you know, you think of Double Dragon, and you think of, like, chains, you think of bats, but no, I've got an M16. I mean, like, and they just gave it to me. We're 5 minutes into the game, like, talk about blowing your load. But, you know, I think that's why people wanted this game. I mean, when I was a kid, that's why I wanted this so much, because I played games like Double Dragon. I think this is obviously before Final Fight, but Double Dragon, you know, you're hitting with your fists. It's melee all day long. It's beatdowns. That POW gives you, you know, a freaking rifle. I mean, look at this. It's incredible. I could do this all day. And they even let you diversify for, you know, giving you the butt of the gun. Is that a good idea? Not necessarily. We got the Winter Green twins here, and he's got a knife. I don't know that I want to hit him with the butt, but I'm going to try it. And that worked okay. And I think I can combo that up a little bit. Yeah, that's a combo. Look, this is 1988, alright? That's a combo. What do you want? Oh, that was... somebody had their Wheaties. Hey! Will you just slow down? He's doing the jump. Oh no! He's charging! Alright, how many times do I gotta butt this guy in the head? Really? Oh. That's satisfying when you get the last blow on these guys. Look at that. What, did he have a Roman candle in his pants? He would fly, and it's so, like, the sound. This, oh, come on! I kind of had that coming. You know, honestly, the gun, is great for ranged attack, but, alright, it's out of ammo, so I'm getting rid of it. As you can see, I have a couple of, icons here. I thought it was done. I better hold on to it. That's gotta be it, right? Ah! Oh! Alright, now what happened there? I had, armor. That's what the A is. So we got a little bulletproof armor in here, which is nice because somebody hits you with the... if you're on the wrong end of that gun, it's over. It's one-hit kills. Oh, man. I'm going to town on these guys. Now, I'm taking these guys left and right because I have the brass knuckles. So that's nice. You know, you have, like, some risk and reward going on here. Because you don't have to go into these cabanas. But you do... Oh, that was beautiful. That was not planned. I promise the three of us did not rehearse that before the show. You know, it's nice to have that risk of reward. For an 8-bit game, especially a beat-em-up, to even have some sort of forking system was, you know, a really nice feature. So, you kind of got, you know, for losing a 2-player game... I mean, this is no Double Dragon 2, and the reason it's no Double Dragon 2 at the end of the day is you can't play with a friend. If you can't, you know, slam your friend in the head with your knee on accident, you're kind of missing out on an afternoon. So you can't do that here, and that's a shame. But I think for what it is, you know, I think they really throw some nice features under the table. The weapons have a lot of, here we go, here's a knife. I mean, come on. And look at how he holds it. I mean, that's just beautiful. I mean, he's smart, too, because if he slips, you know, it's going to fall into the dirt and not through his throat. So this guy's clearly been through the scout system and has his totem chip. Alright, what's going on here? This is so Crash Man from Mega Man 2 right now. I don't like that. I feel like I'm going to get ambushed. Here's the thing, is like, oh, I think the last time I played this for reals was, I don't know, I probably picked this up last fall, and I used to play it a lot as a kid, but it's like, you know, you get that muscle memory, like this, I can't believe nothing's going on here. I can't believe someone's not coming down there to lob grenades on me or something. It must be my lucky day. What do you think, is it my lucky day? It's my lucky day! Alright, I'm sorry. Oh! Wow, one hit? Come on, man. Have your coffee before you come at me. What do you got? Oh, yeah, there is. Right. Got a couple other moves here. I forgot to add that. The jump kick. Talk about satisfying if you can pull it off at the right time. It does leave you a little vulnerable if they're still standing, though. Give me that. What is it, my effing birthday? Have a seat. This guy. I don't know if he's attacking me or trying to get to the PX. Sorry. Look, trust me, they're out of Twizzlers. Alright? No reason to go out there. You know, nice windows, but they're not one for furnishing in this POW camp, are they? Whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, I gotta hit when it stops scrolling like that. Red alert. Somebody's gonna ambush you. Alright, here we go again with this stupid ladder. Okay? Dimes to donuts! We're gonna get ambushed here. I knew it! And it's not like I can get to the guy. No, that's not good. One hit! One hit! I sound like an angry 13-year-old. Of course it's one hit. It's Nintendo. Like I haven't played this? Give me that. At least I still have the gun. So we're down to one life. This game does have continues. Cutscene. Look, Mom, no hands. Swear to God, he's climbing a ladder on his own. Don't even have to press a button. That was a misfire. Actually, I do want to butt him. Yeah. He didn't take much. Glass jaw, baby. Glass jaw. All right. What is this? Golden axe? Ah! Oh, come on! That should have hit him. Oh, all right. Now that was me. That was me. Come on, baby. Everyone here knows how to hold the knife properly. Like I know how to hold a knife properly. I can't even cut my food right. Alright, let's get rid of this thing. Fisticuffs! You think I can knock him off? I doubt it. No. You see that? See that? Never should have jumped at the guy. I mean, you don't want to really use that jump kick offensively. Oh, come on, dude! That's rough. I'll tell you what. You know, I was thinking about playing this game today, and I was like, honestly, am I going to have enough time? Am I going to last half an hour in POW? I wasn't really sure. If this isn't the walk before the boss, I don't know what is. What'd I say? Alright, baby. What do you got? What's up? Oh! Grenade! Oh, oh, oh! Give me that. Oh, that's why we play! That's why we play, ladies and gentlemen! Throwing grenades at a helicopter! Now, don't ask me what kind of helicopter that is. I don't really know that stuff. You know, I'm a naval man. I let the Air Force handle that. Yeah! Hey, can I just... Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not bad! Not too bad. That was doable. Alright. Watch it now. That's a long one! Alright. We succeeded. We succeeded from escaping the POW camp. And I, for one, am proud of ourselves. But let's take a break. And we'll come back. You know what I forgot to do last time? Let's come back. Let's return from faux Saigon back to the ship. And we're back. We're coming back. Keep at it, stupid harp. How good are you? Alright. Oh, I forgot to take these off. Look at me breaking the illusion, huh? Alright. Much better. So POW, you know, I mean, as far as beat-em-ups go on the NES, pretty good. Big graphics, big sprites, a lot of fun weapons. It can get rough. You know, those one-hit grenades. I'm telling you, the one-hit guns, or the bullets, work that way too, so you're going to find yourself having some short games there out of the box. But, you know, it's a pretty common game, good value, you know, easy to find, doesn't cost you too much, so I suggest it. And we'll get back to it soon. But let's get into some treasure, shall we? I found those Pokemon games, and those were more, you know, just kind of an afterthought because of how I came about them. But I was really excited about what I found a few days back. I believe the day after our last voyage. I walked into a store, and I was under the impression that they were going to have some PlayStation 1 games out. But I looked around, and it was like the same old crap that I always see, like the stuff nobody wants. And I asked around, and nobody seems to know where these were, so I was like, okay, well, this is a wash. But I decided to glance in this milk crate that they have. They have this milk crate where it's like all the sports games and just crap, or things fall through the cracks, and they just put it in this crate for $1. And sitting right there in the crate, I was like, wow, already worth the trip. Def Jam Vendetta, disc only. Oh, for the PlayStation 2. Def Jam, not Vendetta. I'm sorry. Def Jam Fight for New York. Now this is a sequel to Vendetta, and Vendetta was basically a wrestling game with rappers. Kind of around turn of the century, maybe. When was this out? 2004? No, that's not right. Yeah, 2004. So you're talking like Busta Rhymes era. I think Flava Flav had his show at the time. Fat Joe. Pretty much every prominent rapper you can think of was kind of in this wrestling game. But then they put out Fight for New York. Vendetta was okay, but Fight for New York was incredible. And the reason it was incredible was it had a pretty decent and certainly beefy one-player campaign, but the fighting in this game was so great. Like, I mean, when you think about four-player fighting games, you think Smash Brothers. End of story. At least these days. I would argue that while this was on PlayStation, while this was on GameCube and Xbox, this may have been the best four-player fighting game on the PS2 library. And to this day, I still play it. Now, it is hard to get some people together to play it, but if you do, it's extremely approachable, and it's a lot of fun. And if you're into fighting games that have really brutal environmental attacks, slam a guy up against the door and then start beating him in the stomach and then throw him over your shoulder, that kind of stuff. It's really fun, approachable. You can make your own guy, but then you can, do these really weird matchups like, Ghostface Killa versus, I like to play against Fat Joe a lot. But like Slick Rick's in it, like really weird pulls. So yeah, Def Jam Vendetta is great, and it holds its value because of that, because it is so great. And there's really nothing. I believe they made Icon for the PS3, and I never played it. From what I understand, it does not hold a candle. So if you see this one around, and they are pretty common, because this actually went to Greatest Hits. Now this is a black label version, but you can find the red label versions out there. And if you see it for cheap, I would definitely pick it up. I highly suggest it, especially if you have a couple friends who just like to beat the crap out of each other. Okay. Now we get into some really good boxed games. These are all PS2s, and I was really shocked to see them all sitting in the cabinet on their own behind glass. And that's how they work. Like, they've got this milk crate full of dollar games, but then the games that they think are a little more valuable, they put in the cabinet, and then negotiations start. So they don't even have PS2 priced. You basically, it comes down to what you can do in the heat of the moment. So, I saw this stack and I was like, okay, I'm in. First of all, we have Okame for the PS2. This is made by Capcom, and this is basically a 3D adventure game with a very innovative painting system. And to be honest, I haven't played this, but this was a game that looked so cool to me that when it did come out, while I was busy with other games, I actually bought it for a friend of mine, and he enjoyed it quite well. I've not made the plunge on this one yet. I believe it was only on PS2, and then eventually ported it to the Wii, and then the DS has a version of its own. But yeah, this is just a really neat find. And a side note, you can actually play this wolf in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And don't ask me to pronounce the name of this wolf because it's a mouthful. Very Japanese. But I was happy to find that. Dragon Quest VIII. Dragon Quest VIII for the PS2. Man, this was the last great turn-based RPG that I played personally. I played this about 4 years ago, and at the time, these were everywhere. They were sitting in the bargain bins at GameStop for like $5. And for those of you who are in the Nintendo, this is basically the Dragon Warrior series. And we finally got to the point in America where Dragon Quest was a big enough brand that when they moved this game to America, they just decided to go with what it was called in Japan. But in the NES days, the Dragon Quest games were called Dragon Warrior, so if you played back then, you're probably familiar with this brand. I can't say enough good things about this one. It's not that expensive of a game, but if you're looking for a good RPG with like a sense of humor, a really interesting battle system. Very basic, but also has a nice strategic layer to it, and an excellent soundtrack. Pick it up. I definitely recommend it. Like, I played this one all the way through, and these days I'm not an RPG guy. Like, I can't sit through a whole RPG, but this one had me hooked. Highly suggested. This was great. Mega Man Collection. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. Now this has, it says 10 classic Mega Man titles. That would lead you to believe it's 1 through 10, but I believe it's only Mega Man 1 through 8. So you've got all your Nintendo Mega Mans here. So this was the height of the series. All on one disc, and then it's got a couple of weird, like, arcadey games. I think there's almost like a, I believe Power Battles is on this. Don't quote me, but Power Battles is kind of like a fighting game. So that was cool. You know, there was even like some 2-player games here. This is great. I actually had this, but man, it was worth picking up, if anything, for a trade or a gift or what have you. It's not crazy expensive or anything like that, but I mean, the value alone, like, this is the kind of game I'd leave at my parents' house and play on a weekend or something. So that was cool. A game that I don't play, but a lot of my friends do. Silent Hill 2, arguably the best one out there, from what I hear. I played the first one quite a bit, loved the first one, and, you know, talk about a game that was built around a system's limitations. That fogging effect really worked well for the eeriness of this game. A buddy of mine actually dresses up like Pyramid Head, who is one of the main antagonists in this, but when we go to cons, he's got like a full-on Pyramid Head, and he looks pretty creepy, especially because I believe he has his shirt off. I don't need to see that. So anyway, Silent Hill 2, good find, and it's complete. It's got the manual in it and whatnot. Very nice shape. Usually when you find a Silent Hill 2, it's in good shape because adults are the ones who grab these games. This one, don't get me started. Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Talk about a great, approachable multiplayer action RPG with a sense of humor. You know, a genre that you don't see a lot of sense of humor. I mean, you take a look at Diablo 3, take a look at Champions of Norath, and these are very approachable games. I'm not a real Diablo 3 fan, I'll admit it, but I love Champions of Norath, but I don't go there for laughs. And I certainly don't bring it to people who aren't into serious RPGs. This one, on the other hand, I will. This is the kind of game that I would sit anyone down with, you know, who's at least okay with playing video games. And the reason for that is, not only are the controls approachable, this game actually plays like a twin-stick shooter, believe it or not. You know, if you really want to dumb it down, it comes down to one joystick for moving and one joystick for shooting. And talk about a great way to get someone to sit down and play out of the box. They can learn what the other buttons do eventually, but all they really want to do is get in there and shoot. And this does that for them, and fight over treasure with the other player. You can do that. The other nice thing here is you're not going to believe how many playable characters there are. Now, this is made by Midway, as you can see, and Midway always traditionally had a real sense of humor, especially when it came to secret characters. If you look at, like, the NBA Jam series, you know, you had, like, I think Barney was in, maybe not Barney, but you'd have, like, mascots as secret characters, Bill Clinton. So it's really weird, and that translated over to this. So when you sit somebody down, and, you know, you say pick a character, they're like, well, what character? I'm like, I don't know, do you want to play a wizard or a warrior? And like, I'm like, okay, well, do you want to play a ninja? Do you want to play a waitress? Do you want to play a football player? Do you want to play just a smiley face with a stick figure? Do you want to play a chicken? I swear there's a chicken. All kinds of stuff here. Do you want to play an anime girl with pigtails? It's in here. Fully levelable alongside with all the fantasy characters. So you really make your own, really have a lot of fun here. Can't suggest this one enough. And to play it on a PS3, you know, it's very nice. Just get a couple wireless controllers together, you're in good shape. Provided that PS3 is backward compatible. Soul Reaver 2, this was more one that I just didn't have. A series that I really haven't delved into. Again, we're getting kind of into the serious horror stuff, not really my thing. Not to say that this is, like, terrifying, but not really my thing. But I was happy to have it, and it's complete. And I hear it's pretty good. I played the original a little bit on Dreamcast, and it was alright. These guys were surprising. Wild Arms 3 and Wild Arms 4. Crazy to find these just sitting in a store somewhere, along a bunch of like sports games and stuff. Wild Arms 3 is pretty easy to find. I mean, it's not crazy easy to find, but it's easy to find. It's not really worth much. But Wild Arms 4, you're getting late in the series, and these actually start to become a little harder to find, and they certainly hold their value. There's something about the Wild Arms games that you know, like JRPG devotees are really into. So happy to have it, but I don't know. Burn me at the stake, but I probably won't play these. But it's neat to have them on the shelf. I think I have Wild Arms 1 for the PS2, Wild Arms Ultra Code F, and then I have like Wild Arms 2 for the PS1. So it's like I'm almost to the point where I have every Wild Arms game. It's basically, as you can see, she's got a kind of a 6-shooter going on there. So that's basically what we're doing here is JRPG mixed in kind of a Wild West scenario. And I assume everyone's kind of independent of themselves, much like the Final Fantasy series. But again, haven't played them, and I probably will not devote the 150 hours plus it would take to play all 5 Wild Arms games. And what can I say? But it's nice to have them. Nice to have them. And finally, a double, but a nice double. This is the first game I ever did play on the PS2, and man, incredible. This was remastered on the PS3. Ico. A lot of people talk about Shadow of the Colossus. This is kind of Shadow Colossus's brother, if you will, spiritual prequel maybe. But this one I actually played all the way through. Shadow I have not. Loved this game though, and it's not that hard to find, or it's not that easy to find. It's not that valuable of a game. And it's a short experience. This was a rental for me. Like I remember renting it and going all the way through, and beating it on a weekend. Always interesting to see the PS2 games that have the blue. This means it was a really early title. So pretty cool. So that was all I found. I found what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then Def Jam, which was $1 because it was in the crate. I brought these up. I said, how much of the PS2 games, or I asked her before she unlocked the cabinet, how much of the PS2 games? She's like $3-4. If you say $3-4, it's going to be 3. It's just how it works. But I used the old bundle routine when I got up there. We pulled him out, went up to the cabinet counter, and I put him down on the counter, and I said, okay, since I'm getting so many, what can we do here? And that's an important question. What can we do here? Okay? Don't say, can you give it to me lower? Don't say, can you shave a little bit off? Leave it as open-ended as possible, at least to start. Okay? What can we do here? And she says, okay, $2 each. Now look at that. She's already gone from 4 to 2, and just from a simple question in the middle of a transaction. So at the end of the day, I walked away with all these very nice PS2 titles for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. And I think she went flat. I don't even think she did tax on it. So that's a lot of good gaming for a $20 bill. So keep that in mind next time. Bundles important. Put it in their hands, but don't shove it into their hands. Try and be as amiable as you can be. And for God's sakes, don't ask her if she's having a baby. Alright. Let's get back to POW. Okay? Let's get back to Bart. Let's get back to the Goon Squad. And we'll play a little bit more. Probably get shot in the face a couple times. And then we'll go to the mailbag. Sound good to you? Sounds good to me. Alright. Oh, listen to those tunes. Yeah, baby. Oh, man. Hey, can I get the cassette for this? Is this on cassette? Whoa, where are you going? Hey! Oh, look at that. That guy was making a run for the border. Nothing was going to stop him. Alright, again, we have the branching pathways. There's not much to them. but it's nice to see in a beat 'em up, and an 8-bit beat 'em up, almost unheard of. Well, he matches his home here. See you later. There you go. Now, did the Y&L crew here tape on Wednesdays? What's going on with this couch? Alright. Look at the... He really knows how to kick. That's a nice, straight kick. And he toes out, you know? He's not hitting with the heel there. Oh, get out of here! No, that's not good, Grass. That's not good, Captain. Oh, the back fist! See, this is badness. Oh my god. Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun. This is intense. Look, you know, I'm already dealing with two guys with knives. Do you have to throw the music on top of it? Oh, all the way across the room. Yeah! That, I'll tell you, that kick never gets old. Give me those brass knuckles. Now, do we see the brass knuckles? No. Would it be nice? Yes. But this is NES. You know, NES is just as much about the empirical fun as it is the imaginary fun. You have to imagine that guy's got some nasty, bloody knuckles, you know, on his hand now, and he's going to crush somebody's face with it. Just think about that, you know? Let your imagination run wild. Toe kick. Oh, I wanted to do two. Now, again, this is funny because I'm nailing these guys, but it's the brass knuckles. Yet I'm kicking them. That's why I'm taking them out so quick, I believe, is the brass knuckles. But apparently that applies to my feet. Oh, yeah. Now, look at this. We're almost at a high score here. What, I need to kill about 24 more of these grunts? Oh. I'm going to get that high score achievement. Oh, my God. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be the biggest accomplishment I've done all week. Hey! Hey! Oh! I don't need to hear that scream, dude. That was uncool. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm gonna hear in my nightmares. What do we get? Oh my god, the irony. Full health. Who needs it? You know, I'll be happy if I can get a free guy. Or if I... Oh! That was so cheap. Oh my god. I will be happy if I manage a high score. Because POW is rough. And I will say that there are some continues, but I believe they're limited. And I believe if you do continue, you have to start all the way back at the beginning of stage 2. And I know you guys don't want to have to endure that. Because frankly, I only have enough jokes for one go-through. Oh man, that feels good. Yeah, low stutter. It's like the Doublemint twins here. Yeah! 1940! 1940, baby! 19400! Give me those points! I got this. I wonder if there's a free guy at 20 grand. That'd be delightful. 2 more guys and I got that high. And I assume there's a battery backup. Is there anybody know a battery backup on this cart? I'm gonna keep this high score, right? Last guy got 20 grand, right? Oh, I did it! Die. Give me... Yes! Oh my god. That was incredible. That's what I needed. Alright. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa! Oh, dude! Getting dirty. Getting down and dirty. I still need to see how far I can go here. I'm betting on not far. But you know, I should go into it... Look it. You see this? Please. What is this, Kung Fu? Okay. Whifferoony. Where you going? Ah! Ah! Totally bogus. Alright, we'll wrap it there. Thank you, POW. Thank you, Captain Bart. We're going to have to try again next time. I'm sorry that it didn't work out. But, you know, when you put your faith into a guy in a pirate hat who plays NES games all day, it's probably not going to work out for you. Alright, so on to the mailbag. We do have a mail question today. Luckily, our first mate was nice enough to bring him in. Let's see what we got here. I don't think these are all questions, so I'm going to have to dig through them. What is this? Bill. Summons. Postcard. Summons. Child support. Here we go. Mailbag. Okay, this comes from Ashley Brown in Palm Springs, California, and Ashley has been nice enough to say. All right, it's not really on here, but I'll tell you it. What would you, Captain Raz, rather do? Spend an hour watching The View on ABC, which is 4 middle-aged women trying and failing to be funny and topical, or would you rather be locked in a car for 10 minutes with the band Creed blasting on the radio? First of all, I hate you for even putting me in this kind of situation. That's a sadistic question, and you should be put away for it. Second of all, you know, I would like to think that I would do The View because maybe at least I could find some sort of perverse enjoyment out of seeing these women, but then they start talking and there's no way to turn the volume off, so that's a lost cause. So unfortunately, I would probably sit in the car and listen to Creed and do everything I could to hotwire it so I could drive off a cliff. Right. Thank you for the question, Ashley. If you have a question for the mailbag here at the Gaming Galleon, please write it to Gmail, GamingGalleon@gmail. You can pretty much put it anywhere over the YNL network, and someone will get it to me because, let's face it, people love to see me deal with uncomfortable questions. So, please leave us something, and you may very well be in our next mailbag. So I think that's it. I think it's time to go. I think we learned a lot today. We learned what not to say in a negotiation, not to say too much. We learned about how to deal with getting out of a prisoner of war camp. We also dealt with the ability to try and put it in the merchant's hands when it comes to getting a better deal for yourself. So next time, we'll have another game. We'll have some more stories. We'll have some more laughs. And hopefully you can join us on the next Gaming Galleon. So until then, farewell and adieu to ye fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain. For we received orders for to sail back to Saigon. And lo, nevermore shall we see ye again. There's nothing in there to work on that. Keep your powder dry, mateys.